is the hardest thing that any of us ever have to do. And a good friend of mine in the United States asked me if I would come here and share some things that I know with Chinese families about making families more happy.
Hi American Mothers friends. I had so much fun meeting with you back in April, and Carmel asked me if I could be here again tonight, and unfortunately I couldn't. I was already booked with another event where I needed to speak and to help strengthen families, because that's what I do. I am so honored to be nominated for Mother of the Year. Honestly, I never even thought that that would be something that would, happen to me, that somebody would suggest that. And I really feel grateful that that you all think that much of me, and it's definitely something, to live up to. I wanted to let you all know a little bit about me and what I do, in case you're not really sure who I am, but I wanted to take some time and just tell you a little bit about my family. I thought the best place to do it was right here in my rocking chair, where I've rocked all of my babies to sleep year after year, as I'm sure many of you have. I have 4 children of my own. My oldest is 16 years old, and he goes to Georgetown University right now. My other children are all homeschooled. I actually have always homeschooled my children. It's something that we chose to do at a time when I was doing foster care for troubled youth. I did that for a number of years for a place called the Utah Youth Village. And while doing foster care for the Utah Youth Village, I realized at that time that I had my 2 oldest children that were way ahead of where they would be in school, and also that I had so much time after school for the foster children that I needed to have a little extra time for mine. So at that point we made this leap of faith and decided to homeschool our children, and it has been a fun journey for our family. But because of those years with the Utah Youth Village, I learned a lot about parenting. I learned what works and what doesn't work. I got experience with all kinds of troubled behaviors, things that I didn't even know actually existed as far as behaviors go, and I got an understanding of what it really means to love somebody, no matter what kinds of things they're dealing with, and what magic that love can give to them. Really, that safety that comes from a mother's love. And because of that, people started to notice something happened different in our home, and people started saying, hey, can you come speak at our convention? Can you come speak at our church? Can you tell us what you're doing with these troubled kids? And so then at that point I went, wow, I guess I better, and I suppose I'll have to write down exactly what I am doing and put it into a format of something that I could teach. And at that point I felt like I should call it teaching self-government, because I felt like that's really what I was doing. I wasn't talking to the people about, or to the children in my home about, just how to stop a troubled behavior, but how to want to stop their own troubled behaviors, and how to help them want more out of life and want to connect with other people when it may not feel comfortable, and all kinds of other things that they were going through, and really creating this safe atmosphere, but also a very firm atmosphere, so that they would feel safe with the structure that was in our home. Anyway, after years of doing that, we knew it was time to stop doing foster care. We were having more children of our own. And then a little while later, we got in contact, or actually they contacted us, the BBC over in England. They wanted to do a movie of our family called The World's Strictest Parents, which took me by surprise a little bit, I have to admit. They said, would you consider yourself a strict parent? And I thought, no, I don't yell at my children or anything like that. And then I realized, well, wait a minute, what does it mean to be a strict parent? It means to live by certain principles, not necessarily to be ornery, as we often think it means today. And I started realizing, I do live by principles, lots of them. And so actually, I probably am one of the world's strictest parents, maybe. And they made a show of our family, and it turned out to be the most watched episode ever on the BBC, which was a real amazing thing. And they said that it turned out to be that because of how calm it was. Because there wasn't any fighting, and the hearts of those children changed in our home just because of what the home felt like and how the communication was. And so that's been something we've been focusing on still to this day. People ask us to talk about teaching children and parents self-government, and so I spend a lot of my time doing that. We've been to China to teach self-government there. I've been on radio stations and TV programs, and we've been to England teaching self-government there. We've got some people that are going to be going to teach the self-government principles down in Guatemala, Latin America. My book is translated into Chinese and into Spanish, and you know, things just keep going forward kind of at a breakneck pace sometimes. But I realized one thing, and if there's one thing I could share with you tonight, it would be this one thing, and that is, no matter how crazy life gets, because when you're a mom, it doesn't matter if you're writing books and going on TV programs, or if you're at the stage in life where you're, you know, chasing little ones, keeping them safe, changing diapers, and canning the fruit that grows out of the backyard, you know, whatever it happens to be. We all have a source of where our power comes from. And I recognized a long time ago that I needed to protect that source of where my power comes from. My power comes from sitting down with my children and reading stories, reading scriptures together, playing games, going on field trips every Friday. That's where my power comes from. And I recognized I could do anything, whatever it was that God wanted me to do to help families or anybody else, as long as I made sure I took the right amount of time to increase my power and my family's power by spending time together. So if you remember one thing tonight from me, maybe it's this: where does your power come from? It probably comes from your divine role as a mother. God made us who we are for a reason, and I think who we are points back to where we can feel the power to conquer the struggles and the craziness of every single day. I hope you guys have a great night. I miss being with you, and we'll see you again soon.